Hey everybody, this is Doing Lines. This is the sports betting podcast where we kind of do not really the regular bets on sports and not really the sports betting of sports, but we bet on some sports. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co-host, Austin Huff.
I'm all of these bets are fake, but I swear, like I still feel like I have a better hit rate with our fake bets than I do on betting what the Titans will do with their franchise. And let me tell you, it is. I can't.
You can't mock this league.
It really is, like, just when you think your team has done the dumbest things possible to land the number one seed, they just get dumber and they continue to get dumber.
Even like team like the Chiefs that is in a really good groove right now. We're in our second longest streak in team history of a player killing his girlfriend and then himself at the stadium, of going without that happening. We're right amidst our second longest streak, but we're not even close to the longest streak.
People don't talk about it enough. Honestly, Patrick Mahomes gets all this love and praise, but really it's that.
Who's the most toxic belcher, Javon or Tina?
or Andy Reid after finishing a milkshake.
Oh, man. But if this is your first time here, we are a fake sports betting podcast, but we're not really a fake sports betting podcast or a fake sports betting podcast. We're a fake sports betting podcast. There's no comma. There's no emphasis. We come up with some ridiculous bets that you can quantify every week, have a guest on, give them $1,000, let them bet on some ridiculous stuff, and see where they land in our leaderboard for the entire 18-week NFL season plus the playoffs.
Yeah, it is really wild. We had a lot of fun last week, but before we get to all that, we have a great guest today, Connor Willey, hilarious content creator, comedian online, who you should definitely follow. But last week we had Shane Reardon, who is executive producer of the #1 sports talk show in Chicago, Spiegs and Holmes, or Spiegels and Holmes. He was awesome. He joined us from a log cabin in the middle of nowhere in Michigan.
Yeah.
And in the time that does not exist because it was between Christmas and New Year's.
Fake week.
Yeah, fake week. But Kyle, how did he do on his bets?
It's tough sometimes to explain like what a fake sports bet is. But it's like, if you think they're showing Taylor Swift too often in the crowd, we'll make a bet about that. If you think that this talking point is happening, if you think Nick Wright is tweeting too much, we'll make a bet about that. If you last week we had, like you said, Shane was on here last week. We had this is a bet I loved. I called this an extra nothing to play for. There were 5 games where there were no playoff implications for either team. 5 games where teams have virtually nothing to play for. And I said, well, they have an extra nothing to play for. Well, any of those 5 games where no playoff implications go to overtime. And yes, one of them did. The Jacksonville-Indianapolis game went to overtime.
Jags Colts. I don't know what was worse news for the Colts this past weekend, knowing that they had to watch an extra quarter of their team that already crapped the bed the week prior, playing against Drew Lock and the Giants, eliminating them from the playoffs. Or was it the news after the game that they got from Jim Irsay, who came out and said Shane Steichen and was it Chris Ballard, their GM, staying in place for another season?
Here's the problem if you're the Colts going into overtime, is that's a whole extra 25 minutes for Jim Irsay to be at his open bar in his box. So you're not going to have sane decisions made at the end of that.
No.
I'm surprised he didn't do that from his car phone.
Point.
Like
it's a great point. If that game's only like 4 quarters long, Jim Irsay probably
especially if that's
a
run. If that's a run heavy 4-quarter game, Jim Irsay might be making more sane decisions. But in a pass happy overtime game, he's driving his BMW home with the lights off so the cops can't see him.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if it's run heavy or pass heavy. Every game for Jim Irsay is rum heavy.
So that one actually won me some money because I bet, and it had a multiplier of whatever the overtime team wins by. So that was a triple multiplier for me and Shane. You lost $200 on that one. We both gained $450. We had this one was Once Upon a Time in the West. Does Carson Wentz lead the AFC West in any passing category? We all bet no.
I don't think he led in a single category in his own game.
He barely led the Chiefs in any passing categories. This was the Chiefs Broncos game was I've never seen a more only one person knows the buttons to Madden looking fucking game of my whole life.
That was literally, yeah, like a dad playing against his like 12-year-old son. Like
I'm
he's just not going to know
It's like
anything what's
Andy
going
Reid was
on.
afraid to put gaining yards on tape.
Oh, geez. So I'm not going to lie to you. I tuned this game out when it was 24-0 at halftime
Yeah.
because I was like, well, the Chiefs are not going to come back from this just because, it's all their backups and the Broncos have this locked up. Like the
Yeah.
Broncos are going to the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I kind of tuned out 38-0.
I
I
mean,
did
the
not
Chiefs
realize.
put in the backups, and it got better.
Yeah.
They were the Chiefs were playing backup offensive linemen at incorrect positions most
Yeah.
of the game. Guys who've never played that position and backup other positions. Because if you're offensive, that's the biggest thing to me. If you're playing backup offensive line in the NFL, that's when you'll get destroyed.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
trust
mean,
me. If
remember
you,
the Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl? It was all
yes.
third string offensive line and a bunch of other all pros, but you can't overcome the gap
Remember
between
the Titans'
starting.
last 3 seasons.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, you
that's,
can't
yeah.
overcome the gap between good starting and bad backup. Because if you're a decent offensive lineman, you'll start on a team. There's
Pe-
so
people
few.
say people say quarterback is the most important position in football. I would argue that the offensive line is the most important
I think
position in
that if you
football, and
need
there's
someone
five
who's,
of them.
if there are not, what do we have? 30. They're not 150 average linemen as far as like
Yeah.
NFL quality. There's like 35 total. And if you have some of them, but there's no one has depth at offensive line. No one.
Mhm. Well, and
Maybe,
that's the thing. It's like that for many games this season for like the Titans in general. Like obviously, like I watch every single game of theirs. I don't know
yeah,
why. I just like torture, but they would a lot of times have like four pretty good, like the offensive lines like put together a pretty good game, four of them.
yeah,
But then the fifth one would shit the absolute bed,
yeah.
and the Titans would end up with like 8 sacks in
And
the
there's
game,
also
and it was
like
all
different
because of that
types of
one
bad
lineman.
linemen. It's better to be a lineman who's pretty bad but loses slow than
Mhm.
average, but when you lose, it's fast.
Yeah, a bad apple can make the whole batch go bad is
Yeah,
the epitome of
an
an
offensive
offensive
line. Yeah.
line. Yeah.
It is. So that was what I think that was the biggest main disaster. And the Chiefs don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Andy
Yeah,
Reid's
oh
like, I'm
yeah.
not going to show a single play you'll ever see again. I have a guy named Carson giving the ball to a guy named Carson.
That's too many Carsons. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
it
way too
is.
many Carsons.
Yeah, it is. Even Orange County agrees. And it's just like that game was over from so anyways. So that was a no. We lost money there.
The
The,
you yeah,
There
never
were a
mind.
few other
Never
bets that
mind.
I really liked. The Levis versus Rudolph passing yards with the interceptions counting as negative 25 passing yards. You and I both bet on Levis, and he looked at 175 yards and no turnovers or no
Yeah, well, yeah, he
interceptions.
had he had there was one interception, but it ended up being reviewed because the guy like could not control it as he hit
Yeah.
the ground, and so that would have been huge.
So the
What?
Titans
How
like
many
signed him
did?
as a receiver right after that.
Yeah. Did Rudolph? How many did Rudolph end up
70. He
with?
only had 70 yards.
Okay, all right, so that wouldn't have mattered anyway because each pick was minus 25 in
Yeah. And
yards.
then I loved this one. This is my favorite bet. Do the Cardinals, you said the Wilds cards.
Hmm.
Do the Cardinals outscore two and a half teams in playoff contention? The Cardinals outscored every other team in the league. They scored 47 points. They were the top scoring team in the NFL. I bet yes on that one. Everyone else lost money. They
I
scored
took no.
47 points.
I'm so annoyed.
It's
So
so
annoyed.
crazy. Um, and then, so if we tally it up, last week Shane lost $400. Shane lost $400. Austin, you lost $600, and I gained $400, which brings our season total. That puts kind of Shane in the bottom third here with the negative 400.
Yeah, it's not negative 400. Not the worst score that we've had this
No,
season.
no,
Not
no.
even in the
Negative
not
400
even
will
in the
get you in the
bottom.
postseason. It's like playing in the Eastern
Yeah, yeah,
Conference in the
yeah.
NBA.
Right.
You're like, Orlando's in the postseason. You're like, well, we got to have
Yeah.
someone has to play the Knicks. You're at $4,212 for the season, and I'm at 14,140.
I hate you so much. What is it? What are you at? 14,000. What is it?
140.
Jeez.
I I
14,000.
mean,
We
I've had a
were
few. The biggest discrepancies have been like you're negative. You had a negative 1,200 week. And 1 week you had -600, and I had +2,300 in week 10,
Yeah, that
and
was a
that was
big
like
week.
that was the 3,000 point swing that sort of started this all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Connor's on here this week. I mean, it's weird. It's a weird. The wild card weekend is fun. Do you like divisional
hmm
or wild card weekend more?
I, you know what? I'm gonna say I like divisional card or
Yeah,
divisional round because there's no buys. I don't love the buys in football, especially now that only one team has the
yeah.
buy, because it's just like that team is just sitting and waiting. I like when every team that is good is in action.
It
Like I get to
is.
watch every team.
It is. The one buy thing is crazy, and it leads to a lot more of these rest versus rust discussions. Which I
But
don't
I really
know.
don't think that you have that in the NFL as much as you
I
do.
also don't think, especially when it comes specifically to, if you're listening first time, I'm from Kansas City, so I just read. If you think about the Chiefs, what is the rust? They've played an extra season of football the past 3 years
Yeah, right.
versus
Like
everybody else.
I to me, I don't think it matters. I
And I don't
don't.
think it's going to matter for the Lions, who are a speed based. I don't know. Who knows if Jared Goff's hands will get smaller in the week off or not, but it's going to be weird.
There's no chance of a Chiefs Bills week 2 matchup,
No,
right?
because the Chiefs will play the 4, 5, 6, or
The lower
7 seed.
seed. Okay, yeah. So we have to
So
wait
I
for
think they're
the.
going to probably end up playing the Chargers, and then it'll be Ravens Bills. Is kind of how I think it'll play out because I don't think the Texans are going to beat the Chargers.
Yeah.
And I could see the Chiefs losing to San Diego. I could see the Chiefs. I could see San Diego losing the Chargers. I could see the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
we did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the Chiefs losing to the Chargers. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. Division games are always crazy, and Harbaugh's a
You
good
know,
coach.
and again, of course, as Kyle introduced himself, I am a Titans fan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't be bringing them up on the at the top of the show
No,
had I
it'd
not
be a
been.
crazy team
Um,
to just casually mention.
just like, hey,
I was
did you catch out that the
This
Titans
guy just said he
fired their
watches
GM?
every snap of every Titans game,
Yeah.
and
What?
he's a Seahawks
Wow.
fan.
No, but the Titans in their first year as the Titans, they played the Jaguars had 3 losses that year. All 3 were to the Tennessee Titans. They were
Yeah,
13-3 and they lost or no, they were 15-3 because of the
yeah,
2 playoff games and they lost to the Titans in the AFC Championship to go to the
yeah,
Super Bowl. And it's like imagine being undefeated except for playing one team. Like that would suck.
yeah. I mean, Buffalo doesn't have to imagine it. The Chiefs don't have to imagine it in the regular season. It's such a
Yeah,
crazy thing.
it
I
is
mean,
true.
this is like such a bizarre end of the season. I've never seen discourse around is a team losing on purpose to avoid playing a team 2 rounds into the playoffs who they beat earlier that year.
Yeah, people really weren't thinking.
It's
They
the
were
crazy
thinking narratives, and even the narrative isn't even fully
Chiefs are afraid to
true.
Chiefs beat that team this year. Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
then they're afraid to play. Well, they wouldn't. Do you think the Bengals are going to beat the Bills? That'd be awesome.
right.
I would
And
love it if the Bills lost to the Bengals. I
the
would love
Chiefs
that.
haven't. I don't think the Chiefs have played a road game in 3 seasons. At least that's the way it feels. Because every like primetime game feels like it's at Arrowhead. Every playoff game
Yeah.
feels like it's at
They
Arrowhead.
did
And
win all
so,
playoff games on the road last year, but aside from last time they were in the playoffs,
yeah. Well, no, yeah, I don't remember
they
all
did
those.
win at Buffalo and then at Baltimore, which
Yeah,
is
well,
crazy.
yeah, that is. Wait, they last year they won at Buffalo.
At
I
Buffalo
remember the
and at
Baltimore game.
Baltimore.
Jeez, I said that game, that
See,
Buffalo
this
Bills
is
game is
this is how
completely
Chiefs
locked out of my
narratives
mind.
work. Is people are like, it just feels like it, and then you're
It
like, well,
does.
it
Well, it
what?
does
And
feel
you're
like
like,
it.
well,
It
but it
feels
wasn't
like
that,
it.
and they're like, but
It's probably because almost every. I'm not going to say every,
they
but
lost in
almost every
Buffalo this
primetime,
year.
almost every primetime game has felt like it's been at Arrowhead,
Yeah,
and then they are, and the Bills. I mean, the Chiefs are always at home in the playoffs. Like that's they usually have the 1 seed.
yeah. I mean, last year
They
was Mahomes' first road playoff games.
Yeah, right. So it is. It's just a weird.
So
It's a
yeah,
weird thing, but
it's and this year, the game they lost was on the road. Um, to
yeah,
Buffalo, and other than that, it is just there's a lot to be said about. Everyone thinks how I feel about all of the discourse about it all is everyone thinks every game is poorly officiated, and a lot of people watch their game and then what happens to be the Chiefs game that week. And so then
yeah.
people are like,
No, it's true.
this is crazy. It's but who knows? I mean, it's good. You win the games in the regular season. The Chiefs played a hard schedule. Their schedule is really hard. Uh,
Then
3 teams from their division are in the playoffs, and they played every AFC playoff team and went 15
and
and 1. and then whatever that last game was, if you count that as football.
This week, Kyle and I found a needle in a haystack in the sense that we have a Rams fan on the podcast, like an actual Rams fan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which I do. You know,
it's
if
Stan
you watch.
Kroenke.
yeah. Right.
Yeah, we got on too much of a tangent there. This is what's bad about the bye is team. You just can't. The Lions and the Chiefs are two fun teams to talk about, and you just got to sit back and instead think about whoever's left on the Texans.
Yeah. Is there any team specific that you want to face in the divisional round?
No, I don't care. I think it'll be a Chargers. You're gonna have to beat after last year of beating the Dolphins game was hilarious because they're afraid of the cold. But after beating Bills and Ravens on the road and then 49ers in the Super Bowl, who cares? If the Chiefs lose in the divisional round, who cares? They won 2 Super Bowls in a row. It's just insane that this is happening.
2 places you can beat the Dolphins: in the cold or in the Cove.
Yeah, especially out of the Cove, they struggle to breathe.
That's true. Yeah. Shout out Hayden Panettiere.
Dolphins are the only other mammal that has sex for pleasure. Did you know that? That was actually from Tyreek Hill's custody cases.
Folks. Oh man, Tyreek Hill won't be a Dolphin for long.
No, you gotta say it's a bold move of someone to be like, I have the mental capacity of Antonio Brown now.
Yeah, no, it's not great for Tyreek Hill to be like, this is my first year not being in the playoffs, and also I want to trade. It's like
photoshopping yourself onto Antonio Brown's head is just he photoshopped himself onto like OJ's book cover. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. This is such a crazy person to associate yourself as.
It's also like it's like, dude, so the first time in your career things aren't going well, you went out. Okay, that's a great message you're sending to teams as a guy who's on the back end of 30 at a wide receiver position that is like full of young talent.
And also like a guy whose wide receiver specialty is a thing that ages poorly generally. It's not like Hopkins where he's like, you'll always be able to make contested catches at tall.
Yeah, right.
You're like, has anyone ever gotten slower over time?
Yeah.
Everyone who's ever lived. Oh, well. Yeah, it's such anyways, we should do the podcast.
Yeah, let's get to Connor Willey right now, I guess. When I think of just absolute good vibes on the internet, I think of this dude. One of my favorite follows on both Instagram and TikTok because not only is he hilarious, but he's also representing for the Short Kings of the world, which I appreciate. He is very, very funny, guys. Please go give him a follow. It's at Willey Goat on Instagram and TikTok. It's Connor Willey. Connor, how are you, man?
I'm doing all right, man. What a nice intro. Wow, I'm flattered. I don't have anything nice to say about either of you, unfortunately.
It's all right. Nobody ever does.
Yeah.
Sound like our parents.
Yeah. Don't call me dad.
What could be said about Austin that has been said?
Yeah.
Guys, Connor's going to be in New York City February 21st at the Grizzly Pear in Midtown. Go and see his comedy show. And because if he's half as funny on the internet or in person as he is on the internet, then it's going to be a hell of a show. What can people expect, Connor?
Yeah, we're doing so it's me and another creator named Julia Leahy. More pesto, please, is her at. And we're just putting together a show with a couple of guests. So we'll do, I'm going to come out and kind of MC the show, and then she's going to headline, and then we're going to come out at the end and kind of do like some crowd work Q&A stuff. So it'll be a really fun, really involved show. A good show to come be a crowd member for.
Yeah.
Nice. Go check it out.
Well, yeah, definitely. February 21st, New York City, the Grizzly Pear in Midtown. Now, Connor's also a Rams fan, and the Rams have a pretty big game this weekend. And during is it still called Super Wildcard Weekend? Remember when we added that like extra game during COVID and they tried to brand it Super?
I think the NFL is trying to like trademark the word super just away from anyone else being able to use it before James Gunn.
Clark Kent is just going to be known as man.
Yeah. He's going to be known as like man in the big game.
Yeah, that water gun is just going to be called a soaker.
Yeah, right. A big game soaker. Like, damn it, NFL.
The NFL by the time it's done, it's going to be a battle between the NFL and Disney for mankind.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, we're all eventually going to become a commodity. We're 3 steps away. We're right there.
The NFL's like looking for a way to monetize me sneezing.
Yeah,
they're just really, really trying to. They'll probably even add an ad break into Blinks. I don't even want to say it and put the ideas out there.
At some point, it's going to be like a monthly expense for breathing. Like you're going to have to pay a. There's going to be a micro charge on your card.
Actually, there's a blackout restriction on breathing. We want you to go use your local air.
Right. Yeah.
When you do sneeze, we won't even be able to say God bless you because they will probably purchase God at some point.
They're going Disney will own God eventually. Eventually, God's going to be like, I don't know. They gave me a great contract. I couldn't say no.
I mean, would you turn?
I got
this
a family
down?
to feed.
That would be somehow make Disney adults worse.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
God's like, I got both a son and a Holy Ghost at home that I have to feed you guys.
I got Fast Pass actually for the River of Styx. So if it's possible for me, I'm actually going to Disney to spread my father's ashes just on my forehead on a Wednesday.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The Princess Castle is the new Mecca. It's the new Holy Land.
Oh man, that is we laugh, but we should edit all this out so they don't do it.
Right. Oh yeah. No, we really can't.
These are like the things everyone jokes about, and then in a couple years, they're like, "Yeah, we do that." It's like making real Squid Games.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch it?
Missed the Beast Games?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I hate to say it, but I wish I could be like, yeah, it sucks. But
you're like, yeah, there's a reason he has 500 million subscribers.
Yeah, it's honestly fairly entertaining. Yeah.
That guy, you know what? I'll give it to him. He knows what he's doing. I think
he's good at what he does.
He's got a future in this YouTubing thing.
Yeah, love him or hate him, he's good at what he does. It's like when Tyson. It's like when Tyson bit the ear. You're like, yeah, but he's Tyson.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which year?
I can't get mad at him. All right, so Connor, you are obviously a content creator, comedian, so you are just rolling in the dough, just so well off. And Kyle and I are as well. That's us being in separate cities doing this podcast together over a Zoom with a 40-minute time limit. So we in turn like to take the fake money that we win on this podcast and donate them to fake good causes. So is there a fake charity that you will be playing for this week?
Yes, today we are playing for the Petite Platoon. And this is a charity that helps support just bros that are 5'8" and under, just in general. Just in general, just with life, day-to-day activity. I mean, people don't realize you go to the grocery store and you want something top shelf. Yeah, you got to ask for assistance. You know how embarrassing that is?
Right. That's why we stick with the bagged cereal.
Yeah. Embarrassing is as a fully grown, a half-grown 5'6" man to have to flag down another guy and say, "Can you get that for me?" It's incredible. So, we've got some programs where on airplanes they're going to put us in the overhead storage bins instead of in the seats so we can stretch out. They're gonna help. They're gonna help us at grocery stores reach it. It's a good program. So that's what I'm playing for today.
There'll just be people who stand up right when the flight lands to get you down, and everyone else is gonna be like, "Come on, we go row by row."
Yes, we do get to get off first, and we get on first. So they're gonna start instead of just military and mothers, they're gonna go military mothers and then 5'8" and under bros.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, if anyone here is in the platoon, which is militant or otherwise,
right? Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's families with small children and families with smaller adults.
Right. Yeah. And then guys that are the same height as the small children.
Right.
If it's easy for you to walk on the plane without ducking, you can board now.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's the goal. That's
I love it. I love it. Petite Platoon also sounds like an improv warm up, so I'm here for that.
Right.
Yeah, when I came up with it, I was like, I got to ensure I say that slowly because I'm for sure going to screw it up.
The Petite Platoon will be at their unique New York show on February 21st.
Yeah, there we go. Say that 5 times fast.
And alternating Chiefs colors, one in red leather and one in yellow leather.
Yeah. Right. Connor, I do have to ask, is there a division of this platoon, of this foundation that helps guys primarily like in high school to get the date with the at same height or slightly taller girl for like prom, for like any of the dances or anything like that.
Yeah, you got to learn how to come to grips with your girl putting on heels and looking down at you. That's just part of the experience, unfortunately. And over here at the Petite Platoon, it's something we got to come to grips with, and you got to climb a tree here and there. You know what I mean? I mean, we've never discounted a great man for going to great heights. Yeah, and that's something that we're really proud of.
If you could sell some sort of like maybe ointment or bandages or something to help you, you could have heels, which would just be HEEL, and I think that's right to go.
That's one of our it's one of our partners we're working with in the healthcare community. We're trying to get into that space as well. Yeah,
right.
It's lucrative. I looked it up.
Yeah. We got to be careful with our CEO, but it is lucrative.
Yeah, let's not give Disney ideas of other industries to buy.
Also, I don't want to piss off Disney or the NFL or Amazon or any of the major companies in case they want to buy this podcast at some point.
Sure.
Right. I would kill to get bought by a company that only has 6 mother conglomerates.
Yeah.
Who would you kill?
Out in a heartbeat.
There was one guy, but someone got him.
You're like, the number one on my list.
I know. I'm just like looking at the Kaiser Permanente building. Okay.
Yeah.
Only an LA joke. Only a joke for people in LA.
Yeah, specifically West Coast joke.
Like, I used to say my insurance is so bad I have Kaiser Temporary Asante. For nobody else.
Love it. Yeah, that's just for people that live out here.
We should get to our bets. Austin.
My wife works in healthcare, so I also got that joke.
I thought you were just gonna say my wife. I literally thought.
My wife. Just to not to brag, guys, but I'm married. Nice. We've got 6 bets ready for Super Wildcard Weekend, Connor, that we're gonna lay out before you. You
love it.
Have to bet on at least. You don't have to bet on all 6. We just ask that you do bet on at least 2, and one of which should be your lock, which is double the winnings or
Super Willey card weekend, if you will.
There we go.
That's what people are calling it. Yeah, Super
There
Willey
we go,
card.
and that's why they pay you the big bucks, Kyle.
They do. I have both of the bucks from this show, but that's just someone has to pay for Spotify Premium.
That's true. I'm still trying to get one of those dollars. Hopefully,
we'll lay them all out. Feel free to parlay anything that you'd like together in any sort of combination you want. Just lock one in. Anything you want to do is fine. I have 3. Austin has 3. We ready to get into them? I think we're good.
I'm ready. Yes.
All right, my first one. This is the beginning to the path to New Orleans, where the Super Bowl is this year. New Orleans, which is one of my favorite American cities, if not my favorite one to visit, as well as the one I'd least want to live in because I die from indulgence. Bars in New Orleans are open 24/7. There's a lot of bars that are open 24/7, even now.
Really?
Still 24/7. I was there for a comedy festival once. Didn't know that. We thought we would be cool and close down a bar, and we were all talking about how we were going to close down a bar. And at 5:30 a.m., the bartender goes, "We don't close," and we just like got up and walked out into the sunlight.
Yeah, that's kind of unreal. You got to have at least one of those days here.
Unreal.
You got to sprinkle those.
If you're going to close down a bar in New Orleans, you have to be there until like ownership changes or something.
You have to be there until Katrina.
We just live here now.
Or very recently, you just had to be there until the Sugar Bowl.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if that's the one that's in New Orleans or not.
Yeah. No, you got it. No, that's not the part of the joke you should be worried about.
I had a really close parking spot, and everyone got really mad. I was just trying to park right outside the bar. Okay.
Love it.
Bars are open 24/7 in New Orleans. It's one of the great American cities and one of the most unique cultures. 24/7 is crazy for a bar. Here's the bet. On the road to New Orleans this week, are any of the games 24/7 at any point? Simple yes or no. Are any of the games 24/7 at any point?
Just any of the games in all of
Wildcard Weekend
of play. Okay.
So we can recap for everyone listening. We'll go through the 6 games. Buffalo Broncos, Ravens Steelers, Texans Chargers, Eagles Packers, Bucks Commanders, Rams Vikings. Are any of these games 24/7 at any point on their way to New Orleans? My next bet is so my girlfriend Bailey is getting into football. She's been into it. She likes the Chiefs. We watch the Chiefs. I'm from Kansas City. She's from Missouri as well.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's been a rough go.
It's very, very easy to get into football.
It kind of sucks.
Her boyfriend's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, but then you have to have a whole nother bye every year. It is.
No, that's more date night time. She doesn't. Hey, let's go out to dinner this weekend.
So here's what I'm going to do, because she also watches all the games. But she's more into it than I would say an average casual viewer. What game of these 6 games can Bailey name the most players in? And the multiplier, if you get it right, will be how many players she named in that game.
Oh, wow.
So you would just tell me Bucks Commanders or anything like that.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, she watches all the Chiefs games, and she likes a few NFC teams as well. I don't want to give anything away.
Right.
But she's there's I don't know which one she'll be able to do. There's only one game that I would say is probably not going to be picked. I one bad bet game on this one. But,
interesting. Okay.
I think I could see her feasibly naming a decent amount of any players in 5 of the 6 games.
And if she names 4 of them, then you get and that's the game she can name the most.
You get a 4 times multiplier on your bet.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So, and then my third bet, Rams fan. I also love the Rams.
Nice.
This is for me. It's my NFC teams. I like the Rams and the Vikings, and I'm going with this one. Manning cast, Monday Night Football. I can't believe we are if you guys need to watch the playoffs, they're on 13 different networks spread across 6 games. Monday Night Football, there'll be a Manning cast of a playoff game. Then they always have these guests on. This is a Los Angeles game.
Okay.
This is a Rams game, so they're going to have some guests on. The Rams have won 2 Super Bowls. The combined amongst the guests on the Manning cast are there more than 2 EGOT awards, which is any individual Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, or Tony. Not people who've won them as a whole, like Viola Davis, but combined wins. Is there more than 2 of the EGOTs across there?
It would be great if the Manning cast got Viola Davis.
That'd be fucking sick. That'd be insane.
So the line there is 2, not 1.5.
2 would be a push.
Okay.
So it's 2 doesn't count. It's got to be over 2.
Yeah.
But John Legend was on the last one, and there's 12.
Right.
The Grammy is sort of what I would say is the wild card in this one, because there's a lot of people with 170 Grammys.
Yeah, that's my thing is is it going to be Snoop Dogg and Kendrick or something? And it's that's just, you have to just smash that.
Right. Yeah. Or is it going to be, I can't think of a random
Snoop is
Vikings
probably
fan.
A good bet. I feel like Snoop is the third Manning brother with how much we see him.
Right. That's kind of the thing. It's or is it going to be Shaq or something? You know what I mean? Or is it going to be former athletes that don't even have they don't even get to be in the conversation for an EGOT.
Right.
Yeah,
but
that's really interesting.
Right.
Okay.
So there's always, because they'll have usually a few guests, and there'll be 2 where it's just no. But there's sometimes where a few athletes do have these random awards for something. And a lot of musicians have an Oscar for this or that soundtrack thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's really the Grammy is the heavy lifting when it comes to why are we giving so many of these out?
Okay. I've already kind of got some of my answers here. So I'm feeling pretty confident, which is good. Great. But I love these. I love these.
So I got 24/7 Bailey name player and over 2 awards from
2
EGOTs.
guests.
Okay.
All right, and then my bets. We're going to Commanders, Buccaneers for my first one. Jaden Daniels, obviously one of the stars of the 2024 season.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's our first quarterback named Jaden to ever start a playoff game. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it sounds right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've had to funnel the Jadens out of lacrosse and into football slowly.
That's right.
Decade.
It's definitely, look, Gen Z is here and starting NFL games for us. So you have to just assume that there was going to be a Jaden, probably a Camden at some point.
Yeah.
Certainly.
It'll be
like a game.
Yeah.
A Houston or Dallas, or I don't know.
Right.
So there's going to be someone named as a city for some reason that's going to start a game at some point.
Houston will be playing against Houston.
Yeah, 100%. At some point. Yeah, it's bound to happen.
There's no way Jerry Jones wouldn't draft a guy named Dallas. There's just no war. Although Dallas Clark, this actually happened.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I could see him just also being confused and suing him.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why he picked him, because he's like, oh, there's our team name. I'll just go ahead and pick that. Also, Jerry Jones, speaking of acting, oddly good at acting. Did you guys see that clip of him in Landman? With him starring across from John Hamm and Billy Bob Thornton. If you have it,
I thought you were talking about him acting when that Eagles fan was telling him to never sell the team, and he was laughing and having to pretend he wasn't getting absolutely burned by a drunk guy who threw batteries at Santa.
Yeah, where he's like, "Keep doing what you're doing, Jerry. Keep doing what you're doing," and he's like, "Okay, I will."
Yeah, dude. If there's one city I wouldn't want to be chirped by, it's Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
Anytime I see a video of Jerry Jones outside of his like VIP booth, it looks like if he turns too fast, his skeleton might still go forwards.
Yeah, just off the properties of inertia.
Yeah, I just think you always see those videos. They're like, there's a chance that the atoms line up and your hand would go through a table. I feel like that's going to happen with Jerry Jones' skeleton in his skin.
He's going to be the first one to ever actually do it in real time, and it's going to happen like he's going to be doing one of those halftime shows with like Michael Strahan and Jerry Bradshaw.
I think he's
going to have to go to commercial.
He's going to walk off of that booth at halftime and not fall until he looks down.
And Gronk is going to spike his.
Gronk has good. I know he has at least has that insurance that he's stealing from the military.
Right.
Someone's going to like chug a beer out of his skull or something.
It's gonna be great. Like the Thanksgiving games when the turkey is out there, except it'll be the last game at Cowboys Stadium with Jerry Jones like body out there, and it'll be Patrick Mahomes saying he's on a diet, so he doesn't want to eat Jerry Jones' skull.
Instead of breaking the wishbone, you like crack one of his ribs.
It's just dust.
Jerry Judy's tailbone.
Oh man. Anyways, so I guess there was a guy named Dallas, and I was like, how do we even get it? We're talking about Dallas Clark played for the Colts, didn't he? He never played for the Cowboys.
He did play for the Colts.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds accurate. Yeah,
but he and Jason Witten were the same person, so he kind of played for the Cowboys too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, right.
Yeah, we just all say yes.
Yeah, it's the same guy. We never seen him in the same room. Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
On the list of most popular baby names in 2024, Jaden was number 53 on the list, and Daniel was number 20 on the list. So on Sunday night in the Commanders-Bucks game, does Jaden Daniels have between 20 and 53 rushing yards?
Would you say exactly 20 and exactly 53 count in the range?
They do count, yes. Yeah, 20 and 53 do count in the range. I will say this. He did rush between those margins in 9 of his 17 games this past season.
Okay, so if he gets
just
54.
over half.
Yeah.
If he gets 54,
so
he's out.
Land.
Has to land, between 20 and 53.
Interesting. I love these. These are great.
That's
right. And you'll be Connor, you'll be shocked at how close these lines become.
Yeah, I know. They sound pretty spot on, honestly. I mean,
it's our third season doing this, and Kyle and I have gotten better than Vegas at setting lines for these really odd and
if he
obscure
gets 54 yards, I'm looking at the list, that's going to be called pulling a Josiah. And if he gets just under, that's going to be pulling an Owen.
That classic Owen, okay, so that's my first bet, 20 and 53 yards. My next bet, going to Steelers Ravens. Now, speaking of the NFL, every single one of these games,
the whole podcast is about the NFL.
Well, damn it, you know what I mean.
Moving to the fifth game here. Speaking about football,
yeah. Speaking of on the topic. Fake bets, have we guys brought up fake bets yet?
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. Every single game in the playoffs this weekend is on a different network, including Amazon Prime. Saturday, the Steelers Ravens kick off on Amazon Prime. So I'm going to put Amazon Prime to the ultimate test this weekend. I am going to order on Thursday
basically when Thursday Night Football would kick off, the normal Amazon show.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to put an order in for a 2-ounce can of Poopery. mainly because my favorite team, the Titans, absolutely stink. So does that bottle of poopery arrive? It is a 2-day order on my Prime. I already looked it up. It'll take 2 days to get in.
Okay.
Does it arrive to my doorstep before kickoff of Steelers Ravens on Saturday night?
Which is a 7 p.m. Central Time?
It is yes, I do believe so. I will.
Okay.
I'm like Googling Chicago weather like anything could matter less than this.
yeah, I know, right?
We got a 20% chance of precipitation on Friday. Saturday, pretty low.
It is a 7 p.m. Central kickoff here in Chicago.
Okay.
So does that can of poopery get to my doorstep? I will order it Thursday. I will order it a little bit before the game kicks off. I'll probably order it around midday on Thursday.
Okay.
And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay.
My final bet, I am calling it Foxy Sports.
Oh, boy.
I love it already.
I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Fox Sports kind of under the fire a little bit this week. Network executive Charlie Dixon, former on-air host Skip Bayless, and current host Joy Taylor were named in a lawsuit by a former hairstylist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All could have been avoided if his name was Charlie Dix out.
That's yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
and that right there was low-hanging fruit, which is, as someone who's 5'6", that's something I really enjoy.
And also what they called Skip Bayless pictures he sent.
Right. Nice. Yes.
The 14-page lawsuit alleges that Skip Bayless made unwanted sexual advances toward the hairdresser and offered her $1.5 million in exchange for sex. Man, that's about the going rate to have
I actually
sex with
Googled
Skip Bayless.
wanted sexual advances, and Google crashed.
Yeah. I was about to say, has there ever been a wanted Skip Bayless advance?
Skip is married to a woman named Ernestine. So that right there should tell you
Right.
how low the market is for sex with Skip Bayless.
Yeah, I think when Skip Bayless got married, alcohol was illegal.
Nice.
So in honor of the $1.5 million payout, this bet has a 1.5 payout.
In honor of is
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
or as they're saying it, your honor of.
Yeah, right. So we're taking this one to the only game that's on Fox this weekend. Packers Eagles. Are there at least 6 to 9 scoring plays this game? Any scoring play counts. 6 to 9. So safeties anywhere from touchdowns, field goals, all of the above.
Okay.
Are there 6 to 9
wow.
scoring plays in this
It's
game?
crazy because that's such a long walk to such an incredible line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because both teams really good defenses. So,
Right. But
it's,
exciting offenses that can kind of pop at any
I
moment.
mean, because if
too.
you're looking
Exactly.
24 to 21 falls you in there.
Mhm.
17 to 20 falls you in there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if there's just a couple, even if it's a real barn burner and it's just like a couple field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get one touchdown and
Right.
4 field goals, you're one score away in the fourth quarter from that hit.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm
So-
assuming 6 and 9 counts.
Yes.
Okay.
6 and 9 do count.
So okay, yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Great bet.
Um,
It's also
Okay.
a sex position.
It is?
Well, when Skip does it, it's the 78. It's just where you, I'm not even going to describe it. I don't even want this to end up in, I don't even want my Premiere to auto caption me talking anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, right. I
Going
like
back
how
and editing
this
that
is
clip later and just going,
yeah. Kyle's just trashing, like the FB or like the Amazon and Disney and all of the higher up execs, and this is what he's worried about getting
Yeah,
flagged for.
I was going to
Yeah.
say earlier you were saying you were worried about trashing them in case they want to buy this show.
Yeah.
yeah.
I got news for you.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to.
They're
But
out.
They will be this. They will be a worse version of this show, probably on a network sometime soon.
For sure. It's going to get
hosted by a Kelsey brother.
yeah, right.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are your 6 bets laid out before you. Just a real quick rundown. Is there any score in at any point in any of the games this weekend? Is there a 24-7 score?
Okay.
Does Kyle's girlfriend Bailey what game can she name the most
And I'm
players in?
recusing myself from that one.
Okay. And there is a multiplier for that based on how many players you can name in the game.
Right.
Manning cast over under 2 EGOTs as the guest, and that's combined guests. So if they get 2 actors, right, that counts, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
if I had to guess, it's going to be like Snoop and Timothy Chalamet or something.
Timothy Chalamet is like a real, like he's in right now, and he's good at it all. And he like also he even got hotter because at the Golden Globes he laughed at these jokes about himself, and that's such like a redemptive thing to see a young actor do.
Yeah, and he went on College Game Day and
Game Day
New Ball
was great.
Crushed on Game Day.
But it'll be interesting. It's like, has he gotten so big that they're going to save him for like the Super Bowl or something? You know what I mean? Like that's, I guess
right.
Well, but he has the Dylan movie out right now, so I think. You have to, it's so crazy to be like, well, when would Oscar voting be happening? Because he would love to start doing stuff around that for doing an impression of an old guy.
Right. Yeah.
If Timothy Chalamet is one of the guests, I will watch. I will watch that.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, he's great.
Based off of his College Game Day performance.
Yeah, he's a likable dude. Yeah.
He got a lot of points from me. I'm a Timothy Chalamet guy, and I'm proud to admit it.
I think
you almost even said his whole name right.
I was going to say, first of all, being a fan of someone, you might want to correct the Chalamet.
Oh, what are you talking about, Connor? Willey, Wiley.
You sound like a boomer telling me who directed The Sixth Sense.
M. Night Shyamalan.
This is like if my grandfather went to Chipotle and saw Timothy Chalamet.
Is it How do you say it?
Chalamet.
What did I say?
Chalamet.
I agree to disagree.
Apparently, his first name is also pronounced like Timothée, but
it is.
I'm not saying all that. That's just not going to happen.
No, that's illegal.
I'm not saying all that.
You can't be that. You can't ask me to do that and be American.
Yeah,
you're. I'm already pretending you're European enough.
You want me to call you Timothée? What are we going to kiss next?
I can't call you Timothée if you weren't in Ratatouille.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, no. Unless you currently exist right now in France.
Did you make Cinderella's dress?
Timothy. Yeah. Yeah.
What if he did?
Then I would call him that.
Timothy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And then
so that's them debating who's going to be the next guest on New Heights podcast. We're going to have Timothée.
Love it.
The Jaden Daniels, does he have 20 to 53 rushing yards?
Okay.
Steelers, does my package of poopery arrive before kickoff of Steelers Ravens? And Fox Sports 6-9 scoring plays in the Packers Eagles game.
Okay.
You have $1,000 of fake cash to divvy up however you want.
Okay. Can I go through and give my answer first and then go back and allocate funds?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. 24-7 game. I'm going no.
Okay.
I'm going to go no there.
Okay.
The next one was if your wife which game your wife can name the most players in, correct?
Yeah, which game Bailey can name the most players in.
Okay. And I think this
is rare for us to have a pick a game thing.
Okay.
So this
is and I like it. I like
it.
Can you give me the games one more time?
Chargers, I think I know who Texans, Steelers, Baltimore, Denver, Buffalo, Vikings, Rams, Commanders, Bucks, and Philly, Packers.
Okay, my top three are Bills game, the Chargers game, and the Rams game.
You know what I'll say is you can bet on more than one. If you really wanted to, you could bet 100.
Oh, so you can divvy up a little bit of money.
Bet 200.
Oh, so I could kind of hedge my bets
if you really, because it's got the multiplier of how many players she names.
Okay, I might do that honestly because I like 3 of those games. I like the Rams games just because I feel like you said you like the Rams. LA's a big market. Stafford's wife has kind of been involved in social media. I like Bills. Oh gosh, who was it? Bills.
Broncos.
Because your Chiefs household, and you got the Broncos in there, and I feel like she could sneaky get like all 3 running backs or something. You know, like
yeah.
I feel like there's a chance at that. And then the Bills, obviously, you just have like Josh Allen as such a big name.
Yeah.
And then
is Guy has one follow up on Bailey. Is she from LA?
No, Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. Yeah. And then my other thing is Chargers Texans. I'm just thinking I'm thinking, again, I think Chargers are in the same division, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Texans, I think, just have a lot of star power at receiver, a lot of notable names at receiver. So I could get some points there with a big name running back. And then obviously the QB is well known. I think the big swing here is going to be, I think it's going to be more so who do I think she can name the most defensive players on? Because I feel like the offensive players are all going to be pretty similar.
Yeah, right. So
I'm probably that one. Let me think about that one for a second.
Okay.
And then what was the next one?
Jaden Daniels between 20 to 53 yards.
Okay. Yes, on that.
And then does Austin's package arrive before or after kickoff?
Before. I'm taking, I guess you would call that the under, but I'm taking before on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then are we missing one?
Then the Foxy Sports 6 to 9 scoring.
6 to 9 scoring plays.
And yeah, I'm gonna say yes on that. I'm gonna say yes between 6 and 9 as well. Let me write.
Okay.
Let me write this down so I know what I'm doing here. I want to be calculated here.
Did we take one on the EGOT bet?
Oh, over two for sure.
Over
Smashing
two.
the over on that.
Okay.
If you want, while you calculate, I've got my money, Austin, and I'll throw it down now. We can even just do that all in one recording.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Kyle, what do you got?
All right, Connor, you can tally yours up money-wise. I'll give you mine, and so I got my bets all written down here.
Nice.
I'm going to take the over for $200 on EGOTs. I'm going to take the no on 24 to 7 for $200. I'm going to take the yes on 20 to 53 yards for $200. I'm going to take the package arriving beforehand for $150, and I'm going to take 6 to 9 scoring plays for $250. And I'm going to lock in the 6 to 9 scoring plays.
Nice.
Okay.
And
I'm
recused
gonna
from
go
the player naming.
Man, if they get Timothée Chalamet, he's call me by your name. That won some Oscars, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he's got a couple of that. I mean, he's got to have over 2 of something.
I mean, even the G in the Golden Globe. You forget the Golden Globes are in there, and they give those out to everybody.
Yeah, those are like candy.
Emmy, Golden Globe, Oscar.
No. Emmy,
Grammy. You're right.
Emmy, Grammy.
Oh, I was thinking
Grammy,
of the egg overtime. You're right.
Thinking
Egg
OT?
Yeah. I was thinking egg OT.
Classic egg OT. You got mix up.
Yeah, that's my waffle shirt.
So wait, are we staying with the EGOTs though?
I still am.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, we can't include
John
the
Legend.
Globes.
John Legend was their guest, I think, in like week 17 or something, and
last week,
yeah. So he's got like a million Grammys. So,
you don't get rollover Grammys.
Okay.
So that's where mine is. I got my $1,000. Nothing to Connor. So currently the score. Austin and I are competing season long. I'm beating Austin by $9,000.
He doesn't have to bring this up. He doesn't have to bring this up.
It is 14,000 to 4,200. So
okay.
I'm my bets are looking a little like the Chiefs Broncos game right now, where I'm like, let's not put anything on tape.
I think I'm gonna be tailing more of yours here. I will Austin's in that case. But knowing me and my luck, the one week I do tail you, Austin's gonna go nuts.
Yeah, right. That's the week I go off. Yeah.
Okay. I'm still writing mine. Austin, do you want to do yours?
Yeah, I'll do mine. I'm at $600. I'm gonna say yes. Okay. I'm not betting on the Amazon Prime game. I'm recusing myself from that.
That's right, Amazon.
Okay.
We recuse ourselves more than the Supreme Court. We're like Austin's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't have a conflict of interest in my poopery arrive. And the Supreme Court's like, people give me $1 million to vote.
Yeah, right.
And we're like, we have an ethics committee here at Doing Cocaine, the sports podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do here's how I'm tallying up. All right, I'm going $50 on yes for 24 to 7. I have to throw some money on that bet just because if it hits, I could see like the Eagles taking a 24-7 lead on the Packers or something.
Yeah. Especially with Christian Watson out. I mean, that's like a crazy. The Packers do not have a ton of depth. It's funny we've talked so little about any of the actual games.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like Jerry Jones' skeleton falling out of his body.
And then I'm like Googling.
Zero actual analysis.
I Googled, is there football this week?
Yeah, right. Well, speaking of the NFL, I'm also going to put I'm putting $300 on the Steelers Ravens game for Bailey.
Wow.
I think that one is I think that one is for sure the one she knows the most in. If you think Ciara's husband as the quarterback of the Steelers, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, you got to.
I'll give her even, and we'll even do this. I'll give her like it'll be like a half point if she can like talk her way into knowing who it is almost without the name.
Okay.
Like Ciara's husband would be 0.5. And
okay.
The guy, if she says like that guy, you showed me the high school footage of running back, I'll give her 0.5 because we watch Derrick Henry high school footage like once a week.
Yeah.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that. That guy who you show me is, and then if
she'll also be like, and then that guy who was really big next to the guy that used to play at his college, I'll be like, it's Derrick Henry again, actually.
Yeah.
She just named Derrick Henry 4 times.
It's 2.5s. We'll give you the point.
Yeah.
And what about that guy whose photo you have hanging in your shower? That's too. Yeah. All right. I'm also going to put $100 on Rams Vikings because I think being out in LA, she's got to know Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Potentially. What if she names former players like an Aaron Donald? If she names someone like that,
if it's been since the decade.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Really?
So because Bailey's a big
honestly, no. It'll have to be played by ear. I feel like there could be one guy on each team.
Since
like
COVID.
he's the example on that one I would give, but I can't think of any on any other team that are recent enough that I would feel like could be a get for that. Okay. If that makes sense.
So if she says like Chris Carter, that doesn't count for the Vikings.
No. I really can't think of a single other example that would work across any of the teams at all.
Like Robert Smith for the Vikings? No.
If she says that Robert Smith for the Vikings has 10 points. If if she says it 3 times, he appears in the mirror.
Okay, so I got
really honestly, I'm going to say Vikings. I think Aaron Donald it'll be a play it by ear, but he might be the only example that I could possibly think of. Like Eckler, I wouldn't even count Eckler for the Chargers. He's like, because it's just Donald so honestly, the Rams have the only 2 examples, and it would be Whitworth and Aaron Donald. But
all right,
she knows Whitworth doesn't play because I do that thing with Thursday Night Football, so we watch that sometimes.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna so I got $100 on Rams Vikings. That's really the only other game I think I want to add because I don't think Eagles, I don't think Commander. That's the only other game I want to add. I don't think anyone knows any Texans outside of CJ Stroud. Like for like the general public for being the 4th largest market team. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Houston.
Well, there's people in Houston that live 2 hours from the Texans. That city is so sprawled out and horrible.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why Beyonce's halftime show was so long. Is she was it
was just the broadcast time to get to the other side. All right, so that's 3, 4, 50.
So I have 450 down. I'm taking the under on EGOTs. I'm putting 250 on that. So that is 450. That's 500. That's 700. And then I'm going to do 200 on yes. It falls in between 20 and 53 rushing yards for Jaden Daniels. And then I'm going to do 100 on 6 to 9 scoring plays. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm figuring out what to allocate. I have like $250 left here. I want to allocate to these.
It's
games.
crazy even how often 6 to 9 scoring plays lands, but how hard did it? 31-2 probably landed in that. And there's a game that was 31-2 because that'd be 6 for touchdown, field goal, safety.
Yeah.
I'm also going to make my lock is Jaden Daniels.
I'll say that some bets that did. I don't want to confuse you while you're adding your math up. Wow.
No.
Those are from Missouri, right? The bets that didn't make it, we almost had. Do the seeds who win add up to an odd or even number? That was a tough one because it's like if a 5 and a 3 win, it's even. If a 6 and a 5 win, it's odd. We got a couple of ones already through. Maybe I'll save that one for later, but I don't know. And then some of our stalwart bets, which is do any teams win by the amount of points that they have wins. I love that bet. That's like a new all-timer from this season. That works really well in week Really, any week. It kind of lined up almost every week. Does anyone with 10 wins win by 10? Does anyone with 2 wins win by 2?
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's a good one. That's interesting.
Later in the year, I think we even did that. What week? We did it twice this year, like a week 8 and a week 16 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. All right, I think I'm ready.
Oh, and then humans versus non-humans was the other one we were close to. Who wins more? But it was just a little too many human mascots in the
for mascots
playoffs. Yeah.
I was like, wait, which team is employing?
Yeah.
Did I miss something this season? They had a new.
This Amazon Prime game has gotten way out of hand.
Yeah, Fox put that robot in.
Cletus.
All right. 24/7. I'm going no for $100. Jaden Daniels. The rush yards to fall between, was it 23 and 53?
20 and 53.
Yeah. 20 and 53. I'm going to go yes for another 100 there.
Okay.
6 to 9 scoring plays. I'm going yes for 100 as well.
Nice.
EGOTs are going to be my lock for $300.
For yes.
On the over too.
On the over.
Yeah, it's on the over. Amazon Prime Arrival, I'm going yes for 150. And then for the games, I'm going to do Rams Vikings for 100, Ravens Steelers for 100, and Bills Broncos for 50. And check my math because I may have.
That's all right.
Okay.
We don't care.
Rams
We've
Vikings
had people
100.
find fake money in their couch during the recording and bet more. So it's
perfect.
Fine.
Yeah. Rams Vikings for 100. Say that.
Ravens Steelers 100 and Bills Broncos for 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I think I like that.
Okay.
We're locking in the EGOTs.
Yeah, a lot riding on this EGOT
550,
here.
550,
It's crazy they didn't call that GOAT. GOTE.
Yeah, that would have made far more sense.
Greatest of time ever.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's what they should have done. Okay. Well, Connor, I think you've got a solid board here.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what Vegas tells everyone who turns in a bet slip. So,
can't lose if you don't bet.
That's true. Look, we want to raise as much fake money as possible for the petite platoon.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Yeah. But Connor, before we let you go, there's one more question we have to ask. Is there anyone that you would like to challenge on this podcast that you think that you would be able to beat with your final score?
I think, and can this be someone that I would like recommend?
Anyone on
our
anyone you think would have fun with it? Yeah, whatever.
Okay. I would have to my buddy Grant. I don't know how to pronounce his last. It's either Hild or Hild. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's another creator. And him and I are always going back and forth about our bets that tank and miss. So I would love to have him come on and chop it up with you guys and hopefully do far worse than me.
I love it.
Okay, and it's Grant Hild. Is it Grant? What's his at? Do you know?
HILDE.
HILDE. Yep.
Yeah.
And then let me see.
I think it's just at Grant Hild.
Just Grant at Grant Hild. So. Yeah. Okay. At Grant Hild, you have been challenged, dude, by Connor, and so it is public now. So don't back out. Don't be a little bitch, right?
That's right.
Wow.
And loser owes the other one a kiss on the mouth.
Wow. So there we go.
But the winner is lucky and gets a kiss.
Yeah,
you got it, Kyle.
The stakes aren't the only thing that have risen. Am I right?
Exactly.
All right, before we get roped into this Fox lawsuit, we should get out of here.
Connor, listen, man, you are the man, dude. Just as cool as you come across on Instagram and TikTok, guys. Give him a follow at Willey Goat on both platforms, and check him out. New York City, February 21st. The Grizzly Pair in Midtown. Going to be doing a great comedy show there, and tell him this podcast sent you. You heard him on here. He's been fantastic. Connor, dude, you are awesome, dude. Your vibes are immaculate.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. I so appreciate you guys having me on. I wish I could say the same about you guys. I didn't care for either of you all that much.
No, it's fine. But
it was it was a cool thing to do, I guess.
I love you.
It's a good way to spend
Dad.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, this is great. Thank you guys so much for having me on. This is awesome.
Another big shout out to Connor. We already placed our bets, so we're good to get uncooking.
Yeah, it's like we can skip out of class a little bit early today.
Yeah, it is sort of like you can leave when you finish your test, and you're like, oh, I don't care about the grade.
Yeah, I'm done. I just filled in C on my Scantron all the way down.
You know, I had a teacher once who made us put our own tests in the Scantron machine after you finished it at class. And
Like
the Scantron machine
like
goes, the machine was sitting in the front of the class. You had to walk up and put
Oh.
your own test in. And the machine goes, cut anytime you're wrong, you know, because it has to print the red
oh no.
X or the red dot on that you missed it.
So the whole
and
class
so people,
would know when
would
you
hear,
like how many you missed.
and you're like, oh well, he's gonna have to retake 8th grade.
Wait, that was in middle school?
8th grade. Mr.
I
Johnson
thought
and Mr.
I thought this was like
Roberts.
something in college. I was
No.
like, geez.
No, it was Mr. Johnson and Mr. Roberts. They were science teachers that shared like a moving wall. So they would open it sometimes for tests, you know, and they put the thing right in the middle. So there were like 40 kids who you had to hear every single, even if but it's like you're also being judged if you didn't miss any because everyone's listening to every one.
Yeah, right. I would be scared. Like if I heard that clicking before I finished my test, I would be scared to turn in my test.
Yeah. Like, I cheated off that guy. All right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. We're gonna be rolling through the playoffs here, and they said trying to do a little special thing like we did last year with the Super Bowl. You know, follow us at Korkbats on the Instagram, on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
Facebook
I don't keep up
too.
with
Does anyone
anything
still do Facebook? I don't think anyone does Facebook, but we are on there.
People gotta sell furniture. They, you know, where else are you gonna get someone else's trash for too much?
Yeah, right. If you're looking to buy like a pair of used Jordans on Facebook Marketplace, then maybe swing by the Korkbats.
I tried
Facebook
to buy a desk
them
on there, and I was like, "Do the legs come off to see if it fit in my car?" And she goes, "As a function." I was like, "No, I'm not trying to make the spider from Wild Wild West. I'm just trying to know if like this desk will fit in my car."
As a function, at least you got like a human response back. Because sometimes it's hit or miss. Whether
instead of response back, it's like, "Whoops, sorry, you're not Eric, who I was looking for. How are you?
Yeah.
Are you nice?"
Yeah. Disc still available? You're like, you didn't even spell this right.
Find us online. Find us online, everybody. Do the stuff. Do the things.
He is at Kyle Ayers on Instagram and Twitter, and then at Kyle Ayers Things on TikTok. Very funny comedian. You can follow me at Austin Huff on all of the socials. Kyle, you don't got anything for the road, do you?
No, man. Best of luck with everyone.
It's a bye week for you and your Chiefs. So you really have no care.
I mean, you got to buy too.
I do. I have 26 buys in a row
roughly.
coming up here.
Yeah, you got. It's like you accidentally looping an NSYNC song.
Yeah, I'm so used to that as a Titans fan. And to everyone who has teams in the playoffs, enjoy it. To everyone who has teams with competent owners, enjoy it. And for Titans fans, well, we're all in this together. With all of that said, good luck on your bets, everyone. Love you.